Hey guys, this is Kurt from the Little Life Happy blog. Lists are probably one of the biggest ways that I ended up actually getting through law school. You're just gonna have to see it for yourself. When I was in school, I was working at the courthouse, which really surprisingly wasn't like this huge extra source of stress. I actually really enjoyed going and clerking for the judge, but it did take up a pretty significant amount of time every week that otherwise maybe 1L year, early 2L year, I would have used just for studying. And lists were something that really kept me calm. I think the key for making a good list is writing down everything that you have to do today. Don't write down stuff for 6 months from now. You know, that's stuff that goes into your planner. The greatest thing that a daily list does before you start working, it's like an icebreaker for getting through that first task or that inertia for like actually working. I've been a pretty bad procrastinator my entire life, and I found in school that making these lists was that first task that got me through that icebreaker kind of like, let's sit down and start working. It's an easy thing. It helps you organize what you actually have to do, and it gets you in the mindset to work. As you make that list for your daily activities, just focusing on what you need to do right now, what the next things are, you can kind of filter out all the extra stuff, all the stuff long-term that you're worried about, and you can see that really you don't have that much to do. Now, don't get me wrong, you have busy days, you have busy weeks, but if you write out the tasks, maybe you have 4 to 5 assignments that you need to complete tonight. Altogether, it might be a lot of work, and each individual assignment or task that you have to do, whether it's work, school, or home stuff, those can be big. The point is, when you have it written out just in terms of what tasks you have to do, the names of the tasks only, no details. What I mean by few details is you're not going to have like page numbers for your assignments or anything like that. You're just going to put the class name, this homework, you know. Underneath that class, you could put paper, reading, worksheet. That's it. Don't do, you know, worksheet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pages 378 to 4,000. The point here is to put out a list that's very simple. The details make it very complicated. Keep it simple, keep it very plain, make it really easy on yourself. Like science, math, English. That's what I'm talking about. Big, broad categories with one level of specific underneath it where you have multiple tasks inside of that same category. Keep it as simple as possible. What this does for my brain at least is shows me that I don't have that many tasks to complete. Those tasks might be big tasks, but there aren't that many of them. It really relaxes me and lowers my anxiety when I see that I have 6 things to do, not 5,000 pages to read, 12 worksheets. And then one of the most important things I think with lists is that when you do finish a task, cross it off. As soon as you've completed a task, go and get your little trophy. Go and mark your progress. From the beginning of the task to the end, mark through the word with a solid line showing that you've completed that task. Don't obliterate the task. Just put a line through the name of the task. That way you can see what the task was later when you go back and look at your list, and you can have the accomplishment and you can remember what it was that you did. The reason I think that it's important to mark that task off immediately on your list is so that you immediately recognize and get that feeling of, I have finished this. You can see on your list of maybe 6 tasks, boom, a 1/6 of your work is done. Now, like we said, different tasks are different sizes. You might have more complicated things to do, but the goal here is to work in those broad categories where you kind of get your stress down and you make it easy for your brain to realize, hey, we're making progress, and your stress level can really come down. Because my lists are focused on daily tasks, I don't worry about what needs to happen first. I just write down everything broadly what needs to happen. I've made my list for today, and I'm gonna go ahead and start marking off some of these tasks. So the first thing I want to do today is I want to write a handwritten letter to my grandfather and just tell him how thankful I am for the support that he gave me while I was in school. And I want to let him know what's happening with my life going forward. I haven't spoken to him a lot since I graduated from school. I've been hiking out in the woods a lot on the Appalachian Trail. I had this goal of finishing the entire thing, so I haven't really been very good about keeping in contact with people. And my granddad really hasn't heard from me. I got a letter from my granddad while I was on trail, and I didn't get to read it until recently. So now I want to take the time to write a handwritten letter and just let him know that I'm thinking about him and that I care to tell him what's going on in my life. The camera ended up dying. Turns out writing a letter takes a really long time. I see why people switch to email. So I just wrote a letter to my grandpa explaining what's been going on in my life. I don't get to see him as much as I probably should go and see him. I don't know if he knows about the book I wrote, so I'm gonna go ahead and send it to him, and I'm gonna put a copy of that letter I wrote him inside. So I just want to send him a copy of this so that he can see what I did. So it's kind of weird, but these are the mints I'm trying out. They're caffeinated mints. I'm seeing how they work for me. I got asked to review them on the other channel, so if you want to see that, you can go check that out on the Songbird Ultralight channel. It's a pretty good idea. So I've been noticing the last few days that I've been like really busy, and really it's all stuff that I've decided I wanted to do. I wanted to do the walkie-talkie tests. I'm learning about GMRS radio and all the rules around it and how to identify with my new call sign and stuff. I've been having a lot of fun doing little reviews. I got asked on the other channel to do that review for those mints. That's the first like official review I've ever been asked to do. So as far as being on YouTube, that's kind of a fun step to have that first review in the books. Really, it ended up being more like a first impression video and less like an actual review, because I got the mints, I did an unboxing, and then I tested out the flavors. I saw how the caffeine affected me a little bit, and then I said that I was going to carry the mints and use them day to day for a little while. And then if I learn anything else, I'm gonna do like a real review and just talk about like how they performed and not like just an unboxing. But in terms of being busy, I've had a lot of projects going on, and I've taken it on myself to shoot a lot more video and edit a lot more stuff. It's gotten to the point where I've started making lists again, which is something that I haven't done since I was in law school. And it's funny, but I felt a really big shift in my mentality since I've completed the AT. There was this sense of like absolute completion with the trail. I've had friends of mine complain that when they get off trail, they feel like they're not done, like they need to keep hiking. And some of them have gone on to keep hiking other trails and have done really well. But for me, and probably because my hike was spaced out over like 10 months, I really feel like I'm done, and I feel like I'm ready to move on to the next thing. And I think that this making myself busy is me kind of gearing myself up to go to work and to continue my career. It's really very interesting, but I was sitting down today and editing some footage on my laptop, and all of a sudden I realized I'm ready to take the bar, and I'm ready to start studying. And there was just this click, this sudden motivation that I think was kind of kickstarted by me getting myself busy again, and me feeling so good after having finished the trail, and feeling so complete in my time off, and feeling so relaxed, and having done everything that I wanted to do. So now going forward, we're going to start studying for the bar exam, and soon it's going to be Barbary, 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 all day, every day. So this is just a quick update as to what's going on right now, and just a little blog video showing off some ideas I've had. I really like the new studio kind of thing. But anyways, I noticed that I started doing the lists again, and I thought that maybe it was a good thing to talk about, so I wanted to share it with you guys. Lists really helped me deal with really huge workloads and just daily anxiety dealing with being in school and stuff. So I hope that you give it a shot if you haven't used a list before. That's all I wanted to talk about in this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, liking, and subscribing, and supporting the channel. This is the end of episode 4, and we'll see you in the next video. How cool is this new studio though, right? I mean, it's a yellow background instead of like a white background, but yellow's a happy color. I've been told that my aura is yellow.